Hi folks, Dino Bob here, back in Lost Kingdom Park. And today we're going to head out from the north gate of the main plaza and head for the new exhibit that's in for the park. We'll be running by the Coelophysis exhibit on our left and some in-park facilities on the right and a refreshment stand. And we're going to cut left here instead of heading toward the hadrosaur. And there in the distance, if you know what you're looking for, you can see a brief glimpse of the new stuff. You'll see it a whole lot more clearly shortly. More or less straight ahead of us is the shelter and care area for the Acrocanthosaurus, which is the animal that is the newest addition to the park. On the left is a large restroom, part of the need to keep our guests happy. And right ahead of us is the gate to that backstage area. And the idea is to keep our guests out of that area, unsurprisingly. So one of the features of this new area is this bridge across the pathway. It's connected to the Torvosaurus viewing building on the left, and it has stairs going up here on the right. The connection is in part to let the handicapped guests use the elevator that's in the viewing building here and get up to the platform level. So we're going to take the stairs up here, and the Torvosaurus is out there somewhere. There it is. Their habitat is probably bigger than it needs to be now, since it was built a while ago before the devs revised the amount of space animals need. I know the acros don't need as much space as they had. So that's looking back along the path the way we came in. And looking on this side, once we shift over, towards the sauropod keeping pyramids in the distance, is where you go if you go under this bridge. So you're getting glimpses of this building here. It's a little claustrophobic. That's deliberate. You can see a ramp to the right there, but we're going to look back first, and those are the stairs we could have come up to this little platform here, and then there are stairs to the left, which we're going to get to. But we're going to go up the ramp, and there's a reason for that. The building, I'll talk about in a little bit, but it left this opening that I wanted to fill in. Didn't want guests going through it or falling out. So we put a little art installation there as well as the screening. So let's go up the rest of the ramp and out to this area. You saw there was a view out to other parts of the park. And as we go up, the cursor is circling around that restroom building, which is what I use for the base of this viewing building, using the same elements, making some changes to them, and then just setting them up here with a railing in front of the glass windows looking out into the habitat. You can see a small waterfall on the left into the pond, and there really are two acrosaurs out there. There are view screens in here with information for our guests, and of course there are donation boxes. So you can see both Acrocanthosaurs out there right now. One of them looks like it's heading down to the water, and you see a pillar and on the other side of the window, and that's a standoff, a fence to keep the Acrocanthosaurs from getting too close to the glass. Safety feature for our guests. And there are rocks all around that fence to make the terrain uncomfortable for these theropods to walk on. It would be a discouraging system to keep them a little bit further from the fence. I can see one of the acros is snacking on the blood pumpkin out there. And we have one pair of guest binoculars to let them look deeper into the habitat. It's the waterfall I mentioned, and there's a little bit of space to the left there, but most of the habitat is out, straight out from this building. On the right, I think you can just glimpse the roof of the care building. We're going to go out and take a look at that, I think, as soon as that acro disappears into the trees. Or maybe in a little bit later. I sometimes forget where I am in the videos as I'm doing these voiceovers, which are, of course, all recorded after the video is. So, yeah, there we go, through the glass, and now we will turn around and head toward the care building. It's not fully tricked out. There are two spaces, so the animals can be separated, and I have caught them in there, so they can definitely go in there. So we're going to go up and do the aerial view, give you a sense of what the habitat looks like by way of layout and how it's situated in the park. That's the Torvosaurus exhibit with the sand at the top of the picture. And you can see the care building has a glass roof, which is mostly invisible from ground level. Again, to help sell the illusion that this is a lost kingdom. So we're in for the cinematics. These two animals were pretty active while I was trying to shoot video. So I was able to get some long takes of them doing things. You even hear their footprints when they walk. Well, footsteps, I guess, is a better way of phrasing it. They seem to have been being very careful about their steps today. I don't know if that's the lowering frame rate for this zoo, because there's a lot of stuff in it, or whether there's some other reason for that. So these guys seem to be happy with their habitat. It's much smaller than the last acro habitat I built, again, because the devs made a change to how much space the animals were requiring. And there will be, of course, more changes in the future for PK as we roll through EA. We're a little bit late on getting the latest update. I'd hoped we'd have it by now, and I'd be showing you an entirely different animal. Still hoping that that will come up soon, and then we can move on to some of the plans I have for the Lost Kingdom Park. Next week will be a Sorarium video with a building speed built. No animal highlighted in that one, so we'll see how it does. And I'll be continuing alternating these two because they still have a lot to build with what I have in mind for the parks. But with all those changes that are coming for PK and early access as we roll along, almost every update is going to bring significant gameplay changes to what's currently available. And that's something that I would like to address. So I'm thinking about running a series of building a park as we go along and see those changes roll out to perhaps address how a player might want to deal with that and the kind of things that you'll probably almost certainly have to redo. You know, this park, for example, all the rocks had to be readjusted after they changed how the rocks work. And for the most part they were okay, but there was enough changes that it took a while to go through the park at this size and fix those rocks. Right now the last big change we got was the power requirements, and they are their own thing, and I wouldn't be surprised if they change in the future. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Comment, like, subscribe, you know the deal, guys. Until next time, stay good, be kind to each other out there. Bye now.